PNC Park in Pittsburgh. We are set for Chicago Cubs baseball on NBC Sports Chicago. Tonight, the Cubs begin a 6-game, 7-day trip. It's the first of a 4-game weekend here in Pittsburgh. Great to have you with us here on NBC Sports Chicago. Jim DeShays and Len Casper with you as the Cubs try to get to 20 games over 500 for the first time this season. Good to see the bats bust out last night in a win over Milwaukee.
Yeah, bats have been pretty quiet over the last couple of weeks, but big day yesterday. The Cubs banged out 13 hits. Some of the notable performances, Javier Baez, who had a rough homestand, finished on a strong note, 2 knocks yesterday, including a triple. Anthony Rizzo went deep. He was 2 out of 4 yesterday. Another 3-hit game for Jason Hayward. He's done that 11 times this year. A couple of doubles among his 3 knocks yesterday.
Cubs have won 6 of the first 11 against a Pirates team that loaded up at the trade deadline, but they're not playing particularly well. The Pirates right now 6 games out of a playoff spot. John Lester will go for the Cubs. Ivan Nova for the Pirates. We'll have the series opener, Cubs and Bucks, coming up next.
By Lexus, who encourages you to experience amazing. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. Ford, who invites you to go further in their fuel-efficient vehicles. Check out our entire lineup at your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Menards, save big money at Menards. And by Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency.
Back here in Pittsburgh, and we were just here a couple of weeks ago as the Cubs and Pirates split a 2-game series. The Cubs' final trip to PNC Park here in 2018. And after this series, the Cubs will only have one more road series inside the division, and that will start on Labor Day in Milwaukee. So the Pirates will take the field behind veteran right-hander Ivan Nova. This is a matchup of opening day starters tonight, as John Lester will work for the Cubs. And let's check in on the Cubs Southwest starting lineup that will face Nova. He's beaten the Cubs both times this season. Both those starts coming at Wrigley Field. Baez leading off for the second consecutive game. Hayward, Bodie, and Rizzo 2, 3, 4. Pittsburgh native Ian Happ will hit fifth and play left. Albert Almora hit a home run yesterday. He had been slumping lately. Wilson Contreras, the catcher. Lester, the pitcher, will hit 8. Addison Russell, the shortstop, batting 9.
Pirates defensively, Corey Dickerson left field, Starling Marte plays center, Gregory Polanco is the right fielder, David Freese solid at third, Edeni Echeverria, a recent pickup of the Pirates, is very good defensively. Harrison and Bell on the right side of the infield. Elias Diaz will do the catching, and the starting pitcher, presented by Lexus, experience amazing, as Ivan Nova. He's making his 23rd start. Big guy, 6'5", 245, 7-6 with a 4.42 ERA. Throws a lot of strikes. His third best walks per 9 ratio in the National League. Lifetime 4-1 with a 3.63 earned run average against the Cubs. As Len mentioned, 2 for 2 against them so far this year.
Michigan native Scott Barry will work home plate. Carlos Torres at first, Paul Nauert, the crew chief, at second, and Chad Fairchild is over at third. Nice night. There was a threat of rain, and we got some sprinkles that canceled the Cubs portion of batting practice. Very comfortable as we get started. Javier Baez, I'm not sure what that was. Maybe gesturing to Starling Marte.
Yeah,
hey, you ready?
There was a ball loose out in center field that Marte had to track down against the wall, and Javi was like, "Come on, let's go, man, I'm ready."
So here we go. Nova to Baez, and a big swing and a foul to get us started. "75 degrees at game time." Swing and a miss. He got away with a hanger of a curveball. The leadoff man is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. If Baez gets a hit, Binny's will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository, and Javi strikes out. One note I wanted to make: the highest swing percentage in Major League Baseball belongs to Javier Baez. Second on the list is Corey Dickerson. They're both leading off in this game tonight. So you're going to see a lot of swings from the guys in the top spots in their order. And here's Jason Hayward.
Yeah, it's somewhat atypical. Normally your leadoff guy is a patient guy who's willing to take some walks, but that's not the case with Dickerson and Baez. They're both hitting for average.
Swing and a miss by Hayward. Jason had that big game yesterday. 3 hits, including 2 doubles. Knocked in a pair. And played his typically stellar Gold Glove defense to boot.
And he likes to look here at PNC Park. Lifetime 338 hitter in this ballpark. Nova typically works very quickly.
Some DL time in the first half for Nova. He had a sprained right ring finger. And his 2-1 is punched into left for a base hit. Dickerson will go get it, and Hayward will stick with a 1-out single here in the first inning.
Well, 3 knocks yesterday. We mentioned his good work here. This is a 2-seam fastball running down and away. Seen him do this time and time again. Just ping it the other way. Solid contact.
Here comes David Bodie. He had 2 hits and that great base running play. Scored on a wild pitch. in the Cubs' 8-4 win over Milwaukee.
Nova fastball averages 93 miles per hour. He'll throw four-seamers and sinkers. That secondary pitch is the curveball. He'll also mix in the changeup.
Bell holds on Hayward at first, and the pitch, swing and a miss, went after a high one, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, when you look at the splits on Nova, you would think, well, you really want to load up your lineup with left-handed bats. Lefty's hitting .295 against him, righty's .254, but Joe just didn't like some of the matchups based on his stuff. So Schwarber's down today, Zobrist not in the lineup as well.
Yank foul to left and out of play. The Pirates on Thursdays at home wear their military camo jerseys.
I remember last time we were here, there were helicopters flying down the river, and some military operation or maneuvers. I guess it wasn't really an operation. I don't think anybody was invading Pittsburgh.
Bodie with a high fly ball out into deep left center. Dickerson back. He's on the warning track and he hauls it in. It looked like he may have lost sight of the ball briefly as he took a quick look at Marte, but he was able to make the grab. That ball carried off the bat of David Bodie.
Just more solid contact from Bodie. He's really smoked this ball.
Based on that replay, it looked like Dickerson actually took his eye off the ball just to tell Marte, I've got it.
Yeah, and that's a play where Hayward has to go almost all the way to second base. You look at that play, boy, if he'd gone back and tagged, he would have gotten himself into scoring position, but you've got to give yourself a chance to score if the ball is not caught.
The pitch to Anthony Rizzo is wide on a changeup. Second straight game in the cleanup spot and out of the leadoff spot. For Rizzo, hit a go-ahead and eventual game-winning home run in the first inning.
No, Anthony's been really good in this ballpark too. He's done a lot of damage here.
Our high-speed action is powered by Xfinity. He had been 0 for 12 against Junior Guerra in his career before depositing one into the basket and left in the first inning. That is a strike. StatCast AI is powered by AWS. Remember the long conversation Rizzo had with Tom Hallion on an inside pitch later in the ball game yesterday?
Yeah, I do remember. Yep.
Anthony thought that ball might have grazed him. That's why they were talking about it. Nothing came of it, as that ball will be caught by Dickerson. And the Pirates coming up in a scoreless tie against John Lester when we come back. lineup. Their next 16 starting tonight are against teams ahead of them in the postseason chase. Dickerson and Bell in the lineup tonight. They were on the DL when we were here last. Marte, Polanco, Freese in the middle. David Freese has been sizzling hot. Elias Diaz, the catcher. Bell at first. Josh Harrison at second. Adeiny Echeverria at short, with Jordy Mercer now on the DL. And the pitcher Nova batting ninth.
Here are the Cubs defensively. Ian Happ made a spectacular catch in the ball game yesterday. He's in left. Almora center. Hayward right. Bodie, Russell, Baez, Rizzo third to first. Contreras behind the plate. Lexus experienced amazing starting pitcher, the veteran left-hander John Lester. 25th start, 12 up, 5 down, 389. Recent work has not been good, so he's looking to turn things around. ERA above 10 over his last 5 starts.
Of the adjustments he would like to make, the big one is not necessarily sticking with a fastball and cutter when he gets into trouble. Kind of keep to the game plan of using his off speed as that ball is drilled into right. And Dickerson, we mentioned, he likes to swing the bat, and he's on with a leadoff single.
Yeah, he's hangs in there. He's good against lefties. He's been good against the Cubs throughout his career. 360 lifetime against the Cubs, for whatever that's worth. I don't know that it really predicts anything, but he's done it, so I'm going to mention it. This time he goes down and gets that low ball.
Here's Starling Marte. Lester, an all-star this year for the 5th time, but his work since the break, as JD mentioned, has not been up to John's standards by any stretch. The home run ball has hurt him as well. He has now allowed a home run in 8 consecutive starts going into tonight.
We've talked about it all summer long. The strikeout rate is down. The ground ball rate is down. So you're not generating a lot of swings and misses. You're not getting balls on the ground. The ball in play in the air obviously has a better chance of flying out of the ballpark. You know, I think a certain amount of that early on was by design. He's used his 4-seamer more this year and backed off the sinker some.
To third, Bodie will feed Baez. Relays in time on a bounce throw. That'll go 5-4-3 in a double play.
That was a beautiful double play. Marte hits it on the ground a lot, but because of his speed, he can be tough to double up. And Bodie really does a nice job getting rid of that ball in a hurry, and then Rizzo with the pick on the other end. So everybody gets a piece of this one. Bodie starts it, Baez with a good turn, and Anthony with a pick.
So that helps a lot. Now the right fielder Polanco, he's had an up and down season. And off to a good start. He had a 2-homer game at Wrigley Field in April. And struggled, got hot again in the middle months, but hitting 149 to start August. 1-1.
And Marte similar. He's really struggled lately. Pirates had an 11-game winning streak. They got within 6 games of first place. They're feeling pretty sassy about things. They've gone 8-11 since.
They went out and made that big Chris Archer deal. We will not see Archer pitch in this series. He pitched yesterday in Minnesota. Two balls and a strike on Polanco. First inning, 0-0. Now 3-1 to count. I see over 300 with an OPS, over 1,000 June and July combined, but not very good in August. Swing and a miss, 3-2. Lester goes to work. The pitch called strike 3 on the outside corner. Polanco slams his helmet down, and after an inning, it's the Cubs nothing and the Pirates nothing. Oh, look at that. Built for Baseball is brought to you by T-Mobile. The entire baseball world talking about Jose Urena drilling Ronald Acuna Jr. on a fastball. First pitch of the bottom of the first last night. Benches cleared. And Urena ended up getting a 6-game suspension. Yasiel Puig also suspended a couple of games for his role in a benches clearing situation with the Giants a couple of nights ago. Acuna had led off 3 consecutive games with a home run and had a 5-game home run streak before that all came to an end on 1 pitch.
Still active though,
because it was not an official.
It wasn't an official at bat, so his streak lives on, and he's back in the lineup tonight.
Pittsburgh native Ian Happ. It's a high towering fly. Marte calling off Dickerson, and he's got it. It'll bring up Albert Almora, who homered and walked twice on Wednesday. His 5th homer of the season.
I mentioned earlier about Joe, not playing the percentages in terms of left, right was his lineup here tonight. Because the manager is going to look deeper. Obviously, they're going to take a look at that. They're going to pay attention to those platoon splits, but they also are going to look at how a guy pitches, what his mix is, how his hitters, how they handle that kind of stuff. That's a lazy breaking ball, a little slider he got yesterday for his first home run in a long while. It's not a big part of his game.
He skies one off of third. Freeze near the tarp. He tripped, and I think he caught the ball.
I don't think so.
He didn't. Good effort. Just ran out of room. And he just missed it.
So just to finish the point, with Madden in his lineup with Almora, he thought, watching tape of Nova, he saw 2-seamers up in the zone a fair bit. He thought Almora would have a chance to compete against that pitch. He liked Happ on the breaking ball better than Schwarber and Zobrist. So we'll see.
And furthermore, called strike 3. With the big outfield here, he liked the athleticism of half left Almora center.
Yeah, you always have to take that into consideration. Most ballparks, you don't need a speedy left fielder. This one you do, or at least you would prefer it.
Here's the catcher, Contreras, 5 for 33 over his last 10 games. He's batting 7th in the lineup. And Nova's first pitch, well located on the outside corner at 93. Breaking ball was up, hammered out into deep center. Marte on the dirt, and he's got just enough room. Again, Nova got away with a hanging curveball, and the Cubs go quickly in the second.
Your support as they chase another NL Central title. Tickets are still available for the Reds and Mets homestand at the end of this month. Get your tickets at Cubs.com. Cubs tonight beginning a stretch of 17 out of 24 on the road.
Time now for Old Dominion, bringing his best since the All-Star break of last year. John Lester, the only left-hander on that list, 20-7. There's one other 20-game winner who is a southpaw, and that is Jay Happ. As he works to David Freese, and Freese takes a strike on a heater from John.
Freese has been wearing out the left-handed pitchers. He's been wearing out pretty much everybody here of late. Take a look at the pitch mix for John Lester. You mentioned the cutter fastball dependency, so we'll see if he mixes in a few more curveballs and changeups here tonight. And his point, I think, was more not just the what but the when. Under duress, he felt like he was relying too heavily on the fastball cutter combination, backing off his other secondary pitches. And obviously the last thing you want to do as a pitcher at the big league level is become predictable. But he knows that. He's had a spectacular career.
And he just struck out David Freese. Well, you know, the idea of going to the fastball when you get in trouble. And the thing about this game, we talk so often about the paradoxes. There aren't very few black and white answers. It's typically gray. But you talk about the pitch you can command the best. And for most guys, it's a fastball or a cutter. You talk about Tyler Chatwood. But it doesn't mean that whenever you're in trouble, you have to throw that pitch. It's just
No, and with John, you know, some guys, when they get in trouble, they rely on the fastball because they get amped up and they're trying to overpower you. They're trying to throw the ball by you. With John, he's trying to paint with his fastball on the corner. And if he's not getting any leeway from the umpire, then he has to bring that pitch into a more hittable part of the strike zone, and that's where bad things happen. So I think his point is, okay, instead of being stubborn and trying to get that call, if I'm not getting it, now I got to go to a plan B, which means a little softer in the zone.
Elias Diaz 1-2. The combo of Diaz and Cervelli has been terrific. The Pirates have the top OPS by their catching core in the major leagues, 824. The Cubs rank 5th. Diaz DH'd in Minnesota yesterday and homered, but he strikes out here. That's 3 in a row for Lester.
Finished the first with a Polanco punch out on a pitch that was probably a little bit off the outside corner. Gets 2 swinging strikeouts here, Freeze, and then the elevated fastball to get Diaz, another guy who's been really good against left-handed pitching. Stuff looks good for John here tonight.
Switch hitting Josh Bell was on the DL when we were here a couple weeks ago. He had a strained oblique, first major league DL stint. He turned 26 on Tuesday. And the 1-0 for Lester is outside. All left-handed starters for the Cubs in this series. Hamels tomorrow. Mike Montgomery jumps back into the rotation on Saturday, and then Jose Quintana on Sunday. I'm not necessarily sure it really will affect Clint Hurdle's plans all that much, but you know, when people ask, can you have a rotation with that many lefties? I think the one kind of extra advantage potentially in a series, that's a strike, is, you know, the left-handed starter thing. Technically, it's kind of the secondary lineup for most managers, right? Because you face generally more righties than lefties. Well, if you have 4 in a row, a manager might have to get a guy into the lineup who he normally wouldn't versus a southpaw. Maybe like a Kyle Schwarber if you had him on your roster. So after 2, 0-0. Good work by Lester. Ivan Nova with 2 scoreless innings, but he has hung a couple of curveballs, and while he's gotten away with it, if he keeps doing it, he might not.
Yeah, you know, Baez's been really good on curveballs this year too, and if you leave it in the zone, normally he's going to hit it hard. He pulled off that one, and the one to Contreras did not have real good action either. Wilson hit it hard, but big part of the yard.
So Lester, who has struck out 4 in a row, will take his first turn at the bat, and he went around, according to Scott Barry, for a strike. I think John was clarifying whether it was a called or on the swing, and I think it was on the swing. Marte got a good jump, and he'll run it down. Former left fielder, now playing center.
Oh, really well struck. Hey, following every Sunday day game, well, they're all day games on Sundays almost, unless those guys that come in and steal our chairs are working. Anyway, the first 1,000 kids 13 and younger will have the opportunity to run the bases, weather permitting. The next Kids Sunday is August 26th against the Reds. Cubs.com/kids for information.
Here's Russell, and it's a strike. Russell batting ninth, and he fouled it back. Milwaukee is off tonight. Cardinals trying to extend their winning streak, which sits at 8. And they're trying to sweep the Nationals. We're back under 500. 1-0 Washington, bottom of the second. In that one, hoisted to right, caught by Polanco. So the Cardinals under Mike Schilt have been playing their best baseball of the season. They're only 1 out of a wild card spot, only 4 behind the Cubs in the division. And that's the best 28 game start by a Cardinal manager in team history.
When last we saw them, we figured they were toast, but they've got a little fight left in them. Picked up 3 or 4 games on the Cubs over the last 2 or 3 weeks.
So Brewers and Cardinals start that big series tomorrow night. 2-0 to Baez. He struck out in the first. He's 2 for 14 against Nova. Both his hits have been home runs. 342 on the year against Pirates pitching. And pulled foul.
Another elevated breaking ball. Everything off Nova so far has been in the air, and that's got to be a little bit of a cause for concern in the Pirate dugout, because when he's on his game, he's going to get a decent amount of balls on the ground. He's not an extreme ground ball pitcher, but probably a little better than league average.
Ripped into right. That's a base hit. Number 2 for the Cubs. The other one belongs to Hayward, and he'll walk up for his second at bat. Not a huge crowd tonight. We do see plenty of Cubs blue. And I would imagine the crowds will increase in size as we move into the weekend. Long pause in the stretch. Now the pitch. In the inside corner. 0-1 to Hayward. Doubleheader in Philadelphia. The Mets scored 24 runs in the first game. A 24-4 win. They put up a 10-run fifth. The Phillies used 2 position players to pitch to finish the game. And this was after the Phillies came back last night and beat the Red Sox. But that's baseball for you.
And that's brutal to get thumped like that in game one of a doubleheader.
Ground ball, and Harrison could only deflect it into right as Baez was on the move. He'll end up at third. So Hayward 2 for 2.
Yeah, that was kind of a weird looking play. Really well struck. I don't know if the Baez passing by kind of influenced Harrison's reaction time.
I think it did.
Looking at the replay, it definitely looked like it did. Because he didn't have to go very far to get it, but he got a late break on it.
Not only is Baez a great base runner, but he ran a good screen too.
Little traffic in front of the goaltender.
Bodie flied out to the warning track in the first inning. And the first pitch was taken for a strike. Talking with Joe today. Not only is Bodie hitting, playing defense, but he likes his energy. And everything he brings. Really in awe of that base running play yesterday. The ball barely got away from the catcher and he was able to score on a wild pitch.
Yeah, well, that's what I like about him, is that for a young player, he doesn't play with fear. A lot of young guys come to the big leagues and they're tentative and they won't take a shot like that. He trusts his instincts. He trusts his game. Nova's working on a couple extra days rest. Stuff looks good in terms of the life on the heater, but sometimes with that extra time you're not quite as precise. Diaz said, yeah, give me a good curveball this time. Don't hang it, bounce it.
And a fly to right field. This will get Nova out of the inning. Another note on that Mets win today. Jose Bautista did not start. He went 3 for 4 with 7 RBIs. Nothing in the third from Pittsburgh. Cubs fan to a point as the next Cubs authentic fan of the game, someone who supports the team through thick and thin. Do you have what it takes? Make sure you enter at NBCSportsChicago.com/CubsAF. And a warm welcome to all our viewers watching on Optura in Knox and Fulton counties in Illinois tonight. Two-time All-Star Josh Harrison looks at a strike. Harrison began his minor league career in the Cubs system. He was a 6th round pick out of the University of Cincinnati in 2008. And he is now reunited with one of his A-ball teammates in the Cubs chain, Chris Archer. I think maybe Lester got a glove on it. Baez with a great snag, and he makes the play. So Harrison is out. The ball was hit hard. Let's see, did John get a glove on it?
A little behind the back flash at it.
Maybe not.
I don't think there was any change of direction. And good thing, because Baez was in a pretty good spot to make the play on that ball.
Well, I love watching Baez and Russell leave their feet. They get back up so quickly. You and I would take about 30 seconds to get back up. It's like a fraction of a second. Danny Echeverria recently acquired from Tampa Bay, and he'll be their main guy at short now, with Jordy Mercer going to the DL earlier today with a calf strain. They brought up the former 1st round pick Kevin Newman. And when he appears in a game, probably at some point this weekend, it'll be his major league debut. He was their first pick in the 2015 draft.
Not for nothing, but they also have a shortstop prospect whose last name is Kramer.
So good.
Just amazing. We can only hope someday there'll be a keystone combination of Kramer and Newman. Echeverria has always been pretty good against left-handed pitching. Definitely known more for his glove than his bat.
"3-2" is popped down the right field line and out of play. 5th game for Echeverria with the Pirates. Beautiful spot here on the North Shore in Pittsburgh. And another foul. Matt Carpenter is in the Cardinal lineup tonight. He was hit by a pitch on the right hand last night and taken out for precautionary measures. Another foul.
Yeah, and the story is that he opened the famous salsa that they've been eating, the Good Luck salsa. He was able to open the salsa jar after the game last night, so that allowed everybody to relax that he was going to be okay. It's the new training technique, apparently.
Got it. And drilled for a base hit. So Echeverria able to hang in there. A few foul balls on 3-2 before a sharp single. And that'll bring up the pitcher Nova. He hasn't done a whole lot with the bat in his career. No RBIs, no extra base hits. Can you imagine right now how much money they could make, probably for charity, but if they sold that salsa in St. Louis with the year Carpenter's having?
Pretty good chance they will, right?
I would think. Why not?
Look at Nova shaking things up a little bit, trying a little slug bunt. Feeling pretty spicy with that .023 batting average. But again, that's the influence of the crash from Rizzo. It's really not a bad idea at all. Rizzo leaves early. Baez comes over. The right side of the infield is fairly wide open.
Squares again on 0-2. Takes strike 3. So first 9 batters, Lester has struck out 5.
Yeah, the stuff is good. Scott Berry has called that pitch off the plate a couple of times, and John is, going to take full advantage of that. He has the ability to slot that fastball down and away to the right-handed hitters. If Berry's going to give it to him, he'll take it all night long.
Dickerson recently on the DL with a strained hamstring. Came in hitting .360 in his career against the Cubs, and he's 1 for 1. Good lead by Echeverria at first.
See Contreras setting up off the outside corner.
Yep.
Man the sinker out there, throw the cutter down and in, mix in a few changes, and life will be good.
Yeah, 2 strikeouts for Nova. Everything else in the air, and just the opposite for John Lester.
Well, I imagine he went out there with a little extra dose of intensity tonight, right? He's always in game face mode, but having been knocked around last time, going through this rough patch, I would imagine mentally he's pretty well locked in tonight, kind of going out there with a enough is enough mentality.
Most guys you get in this count, you feel like you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Dickerson, however, hits .281 with 2 strikes. The major league average .193. So he's a tough out.
Yeah, well, he hits the ball the other way a lot, so he always lets the ball get deep. At least that's his MO. You see he's going Votto and Rizzo here choking up as well. Really leaning on that back leg. So this will be all hands.
Snap toss to first. Good play by Rizzo to keep it out of right field.
See, as a pitcher, if you see a hitter do what Dickerson's doing here, I think fastball in. Everything about what he's doing in the batter's box tells me he's trying to let the ball travel. He's looking to shoot it the other way with 2 strikes.
Curveball low and away. So it will be go time for Echeverria. Marte is on deck. Bottom 3, 0-0. Now Rizzo will play back at first. And the payoff pitch rolled foul to third.
Mike Borzello up there on the top step. I don't know if he's trying to get Contreras' attention, if he has an idea of a pitch he wants to throw here.
And Willie looked over. Another 3-2 home. He got him. Lester with 6 strikeouts through 3 innings, and it's a scoreless tie from Pittsburgh. in tonight's game. Cubs and Pirates, 0-0 as we play the 4th inning. Lester has looked sharper than Nova to this point. Change-up strike to Anthony. Nova 31 years old, and that one almost hit him. Nova, a former Yankee. He's from Palenque in the Dominican Republic. Played shortstop and the outfield before becoming a pitcher. And another ball in the air. Harrison in the grass will haul it in.
Soft contact that time, no lively fastball in on the hands. He does that a fair bit as well. Pretty good at going inside to both right and left-handed hitters. Broke in with the Yankees in 2010. 2011, the first year he was really part of a major league starting rotation for the full season. Close to the 3.70 ERA. Won 16 games for New York that year. Career 76 and 61 with a 4.28 ERA.
Ian Happ, a towering blast, and the Cubs lead 1-0. The local kid with a booming shot in a ballpark where he grew up watching Pirates baseball.
Yeah, big thrill for Ian Happ to come back home and deliver that long ball. It's the second one he's hit in this ballpark. 13th on the year for Ian, a no-doubter. Comes on the changeup from Nova, and Ian all over it. The Ford home run replay. So Joe thought he might be able to take advantage of a sloppy curveball from Nova. Instead, it's the changeup.
Almora fouls away. So the Cubs out in front here in the 4th inning. Career homer number 37 for Ian Happ, number 13 this season. That's his first since July 19th. The other home run here was off Tony Watson, batting right-handed last year on June 18th. 2017. 2-2 Almora, and Freese will just eat it. Broken bat, swinging bunt, and a single for Almora.
Well, that's the long and short of it right there.
Yeah,
home run from that, and then a little dribbler for a base hit for Albert.
Well said. That brings up Contreras. Fly to the warning track on a hanging breaking ball in the 2nd inning. So the Merriam-Webster definition of a nova is, quote, a star that suddenly increases its light output tremendously and then fades away to its former obscurity in a few months or years. I'm not sure if that will ultimately describe Ivan Nova's major league career, but we'll find out.
I think it describes just about everybody's major league career.
It does.
Very few go out on top. Usually the ones that do are the guys that have career-ending injuries when they're still in their prime.
Or they hit a home run in Game 7 of the World Series. And then write a memoir within a year. And win dancing. The dancing competition. 1-0 on Contreras. Here's the pitch. Fouled back of the plate.
Power numbers are down for Wilson this year. Taking a look at Fangraphs earlier today. Last year he had over 25% of his fly balls left the ballpark. That's way above league average. This year it's about 10%, which is a little bit below league average. He's hitting the ball the other way more frequently, so that might be part of it. Sacrificing some power, try to hit the ball the other way. Good hit and run count here.
Yeah. Albert has 1 stolen base this season. He is not going. And the ball is chopped foul past Brian Butterfield at third. Butter came to the Cubs with a sterling reputation. And he's been better than advertised. Man, what a breath of fresh air Brian Butterfield has been. There goes Almora, and it's line foul over Will Venable down at first. Another first-year man on the staff. Those two guys have been great.
Yeah, both real solid pros, good guys. Hard workers. That's the bottom line. The modern coach puts in so many hours at the ballpark, and whereas back in the day it might have been a lot of hours at the ballpark playing cards. And not to say that the old timers didn't work, but these guys, with all the prep work they do, it's tenfold what it was probably when I was playing.
Bounce to third. It is a fair ball, and Freeze with an off-balance throw to Bell gets Contreras. Almora's at second. 2 outs.
The Cubs have teamed up with a number of organizations to help raise money and awareness. On select nights in August and September, fans can lend support by purchasing tickets through the Community Nights page. As a portion of proceeds will be donated to each cause. More information is available at Cubs.com/communitynights. Yeah.
Lester lined out to Marte in left center his first time up.
Driven in 7 this year.
A foul fly.
You know that John Lester was once offered a professional contract to play soccer?
Really?
Yeah, I knew he was a soccer player as a kid. I was reading a story on him today from years back, and apparently when he was like an 8th grader, he was in Europe, in England and Italy, playing soccer with his traveling team. There's a whole bunch of teams there at this tournament, and the team from Italy, and he could really run, and he was tall, and they were really intrigued by that.
I'd like to know more.
Yeah.
Bell will take it to the bag. E and a half. I'm sure with family and friends in attendance tonight. Depositing one into the right to center seats, and the Cubs lead 1-0 in the 4th. run in Kohler, Wisconsin. Glacier carved and Pete Dye design. Play 4 of Golf Digest's top 100 public courses, including Whistling Straits, home of the 2020 Ryder Cup. Xfinity X1 customers say, show me the Chicago Cubs into your X1 voice remote and get live team stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. Starling Marte fouls. Get into a 5-4-3 double play in the first. Scratched yesterday in Minnesota due to illness.
Probably got some bad pike on a stick up there.
Pirates lost both games in that series. They dropped 3 in a row as Baez will get rid of it quickly for the out.
A bad hack there from Marte. Yeah, 4-5 the Pirates were on a recently completed road trip.
We joke about the word panic. Teams always say no need to panic. The word urgency is used a lot. There's a famous line from Spinal Tap. It says there's a fine line between stupid and clever. I think there's a fine line between urgency and panic.
Yeah, and I also think that it's funny that we ascribe these characteristics to teams and how they should respond to certain situations. And the reality is none of it matters.
Right.
The game is played every single day with almost the same mindset. We talk about it a lot, the emotion of the game. You try harder, sometimes you go backwards. You have to be under control to play this sport. It's not adrenaline driven. So I guess the urgency would be maybe from the standpoint of the manager, how he uses his guys, the front office, if they go out and acquire help. That, I guess that's where you would see emergency and or panic. But in terms of the players and how they play the game,
go play.
Yeah, go play. You can have all the meetings you want and tell everybody we rallied the troops and now we're going to try harder. You try hard every day.
Right. So it implies in a way that certain games do mean more than others, but going into every game, that's not the case. They all matter the same amount. It's like you said yesterday, after you win a quote big game, it becomes bigger.
Yeah, because you want to rationalize away the loss if you lose that game. No big deal. We're good here, which you should do to put yourself in the proper frame of mind.
Swing and a miss. Polanco's out.
Big John is taking a stand here tonight. This is fun to watch.
Corona NL Central standings. Pirates 9 back. They're 6 out of a wild card spot. But again, starting tonight, 16 in a row against the Cubs, the Braves, the Brewers, and the Cardinals. All teams ahead of them for a playoff spot, although the Braves right now are leading their division. Not technically in a wild card position. Freeze grounds to Bodie, ranging to his glove side, and Lester has been very sharp through 4th tonight, leading 1-0.
Welcome back to Pittsburgh, everybody. Beautiful night here on Sunday, August 26th. To celebrate and honor Chicago's first responders by supporting Kyle Schwarber's second annual block party. Enjoy games, food, drinks, and live music alongside Kyle's teammates and first responders. Tickets at cubscharity.org.
I want to give a shout out to Richard Shin, who tries to catch every game from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Hope you're enjoying Cubs baseball tonight. Richard, a foul grounder.
Home of the Lookouts.
Of Addison Russell. Yeah, one of the great minor league logos. The C with the big eyes in the middle. Very cool. Or as we like to say in the baseball world, that Chattanooga Ball Club.
Chattanooga Club.
Curve is high. And the count 1-1.
Today is Yu Darvish's birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Hit deep to right. And it looks to be playable. It is for Polanco. So Nova continues to get air outs. Darvish turning 32. Looks like he will go out on a rehab assignment this weekend. The place still TBD, but it looks like he will pitch on Sunday. Now Baez, 1 for 2. Takes a strike. Third Cub to reach 30 doubles, 5 triples, 25 homers, 15 steals in a single season. And we're still in August. He grounds to Freeze. 2 outs, and it'll bring up Hayward, who's 2 for 2.
Hap got the changeup. Some of the breaking balls have been just so from Nova here tonight, but the fastball has been lively, and the command of that pitch has been pretty good. Again, moving it in and out. There's a 4-1 lifetime against the Cubs with a 3.63 ERA. This is his 7th start against them.
They got him from the Yankees in 2016, and then he re-signed with the Pirates that December to a 3-year contract. One and one on Hayward. As we get into football season, we talk about starting pitchers and their success and or failures all in the eyes of the beholder, and in terms of what you're asked to do. Right, there's an ace of a staff, there's a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5, and certain guys, they put up numbers and you go, for a 4th starter, a 3rd starter, what have you, that's pretty good. But Nova was their opening day guy here in 2018. Good pitchers duel so far. Halfway home, it's 1-0 Cubs.
7 strikeouts for John so far tonight. We're only through 4 innings. His season high is 8 in a ball game, so that gives you an idea what his stuff has been like here tonight. The location has been outstanding as well. He's a man on a mission, and he is delivering in a big way.
Ball 1 on Diaz. So the NFL analogy, you just compare starting quarterbacks to the rest of the league, right? You rank them 1 through 32 or whatever, but with starting pitchers, while we do tend to rank them, it might be a bit unfair at times to compare a middle of the rotation guy to a quote ace. And I would also say there probably aren't 30 quote #1 starters. Sometimes it's by default.
Right, and that's a very the whole ace label is you know, not every team, as you said, has an ace or what you would call an elite starter. You can get by if you have a deep rotation, and I think that's the case with this Pirate group. They haven't been outstanding this year, but you know, as you look at their numbers currently, you know, Tyone has turned things on. He's probably the guy they expected to step up and become the front man for this rotation, and I think he has. Trevor Williams, who we see tomorrow, has been really good lately.
Now Mora will take care of Diaz.
Sometimes that opening day assignment you know, goes to a guy like Nova, who's been around a long time, has, you know, credentials, but I don't think anybody really thought he would be the front man for this staff. Tyone, a rising star in the game.
Bell struck out in the second when Lester punched out the side. Where do you fall on the striking out the side? Is it facing 3 hitters and striking out all of them, or just 3 strikeouts in a frame?
I've always thought of it as 3 up, 3 down. I've heard the argument, well, that's striking out the side in order.
Right. So the side would just be that frame,
yeah.
that inning. Yeah. Fun baseball debates. So the other thing about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, you could look at building a staff as saying, you know, we've got a 1, we've got a 2, we've got the best 3, we've got the best 4. I think most general managers just try to compile as many 1s as they can.
Yeah, they get expensive.
4 1s and a 5, you're okay.
They tend to get a little pricey. So if you get a young kid who's, you know, pre-arbitration eligible or hasn't been a free agent yet and pitches like an ace, and that's, you know, Kyle Hendricks 2 years ago. I mean, my goodness, the value they got from him.
And the ERA leader.
Yeah.
There's no doubt when John Lester was signed to his 6-year contract, he was brought in to be an ace, and he has been that, and he has looked like an ace tonight. 2 gone in the 5th.
Yeah, and I think that definition has changed a little bit over time too, because when you think back to the old days, you're talking about guys who, you know, might give you 20 complete games in a season. Just a horse that would go out there and give you 300 innings. That's not how the game is played now. Bullpens have become much deeper, much more talented. There's less pressure on all starting pitchers to perform at that level in terms of just give us 300 innings. That's unheard of. When's the last time anybody threw 250 innings?
Harrison lines into center. It'll get down, and little bobble by Almora, but Harrison will hold it first. Had he gone, he would have made it. But he didn't know that it would be an overthrow. That's why getting it back to the infield, even if it's not an accurate throw, is paramount. He tried to go behind the back there and almost cost him.
And then the, oh no, I tried to go behind my back, adrenaline kicked in, and he overthrew the infield.
Echeverria worked a solid AB his first time up and singled. Cubs lead on an Ian Happ home run in the 4th. Big edge off first and a late swing by Echeverria. Pirates haven't had much going tonight. And you wonder if Clint Hurdle might try to pull some strings here and have Harrison on the move. He looks like he wants to go, but he doesn't.
Yeah, there's two leads you see with John Lester on the mound with runners at first base. I'm trying to go, or I'm just trying to distract him because I know he's not going to throw over.
By the way, Bob checked in on Twitter. I didn't have time to look it up. Bob says Justin Verlander, 2011. The last pitcher to throw 250 innings in a season.
Yeah, I was looking at last year. The National League leader in innings pitched was Jeff Samardzija. He threw 207.
Two balls, two strikes. Long pause. Harrison goes. Time had been called. So Harrison will have to head back to first, and he's upset because it was a curveball low. Assuming Echeverria didn't swing at it, Harrison would have stolen second. But none of it counted. We instruct the jury to disregard that last pitch.
Lester, so quick to the plate. That's why they've been good at shutting down the running game. In this instance, he held the ball a long time, and Echeverria just couldn't wait any longer and asked for time.
(3-2), and now Harrison will go with 2 outs. Happy 87th, Irv Huber watching tonight.
Never met a bad Irv.
Pulled into left, base hit. Harrison on his way to third. Back-to-back 2-out hits. The silver lining for John is that it will be the pitcher Nova. Now, if there were less than 2 outs, Clint Hurdle might think about a pinch hitter here. Nova, though, at 71 pitches through 5 and no danger of coming out.
Echeverria with the 2 of the Pirate 4 hits now. First one came on a changeup, this time on a curveball that stayed up a little bit.
Low curve to start it. Tim Eisenberg, happy 60th.
Kind of expect Echeverria to steal second base here. I don't think the Cubs will throw through with Nova hitting. Now they'll probably wait one before they run with the 2-0 count. Tried to guide that one in there. That's when you get to, whatever you do, don't walk this guy. Thought crawls into your brain. This is one of the most difficult pitches in the game to make. The 3-0 pitch to the opposing pitcher, especially a guy who can't hit a lick. It's just hard to turn it loose with confidence, and that easily could have been ball 4. John would argue that number 2 easily could have been strike 1. You'd have to be tempted to give him a take sign, wouldn't you?
Yes. He fouls it off, and it would have been strike 3.
And the only reason I say that is because he's been so bad with the bat. I mean, halfway decent hitting pitcher, you wouldn't put a take on. And even in this instance, you kind of wish for it, but you don't do it if you're the manager. You think your chances are better if it goes into take mode. Putting up a fight. Nova is 1 for the season this year.
Swing and a miss for his 8th strikeout. And that ties his 2018 high, and after 5, it's still 1-0 Cubs. NBCSportsChicago.com, presented by nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Go to jeffvuk.com or follow him on social media. Nationwide is on your side. Ready for the stat of the day?
Yes.
Saw a tweet from Mike Petriello. The Oakland Athletics on the year have 0 bunt hits. No team has ever gone a full season without one. So we'll keep an eye on that here the last month and a half. Texas Rangers lead all teams with 23 such hits. One nothing Cubs on a home run by Ian Happ in the 4th inning. David Bodie will lead off the 6th.
And despite that, the A's are only 2 games out.
They're getting some.
And the Rangers are 21 and a half out.
Really good contributions from some former Cubs. Trevor Cahill's made 14 starts. He's 4-2 with a 339. Brett Anderson's made 11 starts. He's got a 390. Edwin Jackson is 4-2 in 9 starts with a 248.
They're pushing all the right buttons out there in Oakland.
I seem to recall the A's taking some heat. We're giving up Sean Doolittle and Ryan Madsen. Remember in July of last year they traded those guys to Washington.
I remember they made the big deal. Yeah.
Well, Blake Treinen's got an 089. He's an all-star and he's got 32 saves, and Madsen and Doolittle are both on the DL as Bodie grounds out.
The Chef Series presented by Maker's Mark offers fans a dynamic menu inspired by celebrity chefs. and their take on ballpark favorites. The next featured chef is Graham Elliott, whose signature items will be featured August 23rd through the 29th. For details, visit Cubs.com/chef series.
I should restate, I'm not so sure the A's took heat. I think the Nationals were widely lauded for that deal, and I think rightly so at the time. They also acquired Brandon Kinsler from the Twins. They made
because their bullpen was a
makeover of
mess,
their bullpen.
Yeah, they addressed it, and it improved greatly. And it was, with Doolittle going down this year, that has really hurt them, especially recently. They also traded Kinsler and released Sean Kelly. But Trinan obviously had a great stuff with the Nationals, but he was struggling. He was one of those change of scenery guys where he figured he was going to turn things around.
1-1 on Rizzo. Jam shot, foul fly out of play. And the count 1-2. Cubs looking for their 70th win of the year. And they get to 20 over 500 for the first time. Fair ball knocked down by Bell. Nova got over there late. Terrible throw. And Rizzo's safe.
Josh Bell's a really good hitter. He's not a very good defender. He makes a nice play with the glove here on this ball. I think he had a little more time to get into a better throwing position and deliver an easier toss to Nova. Always tough, especially for a big man, to handle that throw when it's down below the waist. He knocks it down, gets up, seen from the backside, and look, Anthony's not even in the picture yet there. He had a little more time than he realized.
So they gave him a hit. I assume the hit was because Bell had to go knock it down, but it should have been an out.
Yeah, if you break the play down into two parts, he took away a hit with the glove, but from that point forward, it should have recorded an out, maybe rewarding Anthony for making hard contact.
So Rizzo 1 for 3. Here's Happ. He homered to right center his last time up. And the pitch. Outside corner strike.
Nova's been able to get the ball put on the ground a little bit more over the last couple of innings. So Joe might think about hit and run here. There's a lot of swing and miss with Happ. And he's not a guy who hits the ball on the ground a lot.
Nova to the plate. And like we promised earlier, it's time now for the Miller Lite hold true moment. Not much doubt about it.
Beautiful high finish on a bit of a floating changeup there from Nova. Didn't have much fade, and that jumped all over it.
Count now 2-2 on him. Ian Edward Happ. He is nearing the point where he has played more major league games than he did in the minors. This is career game 223 at this level, and he cuts and misses for strike 3. 227 in the minor leagues.
Well, maybe the best fastball of the night from Nova, 95 miles per hour. To get to swing through his third strikeout. You look at Nova's numbers, a low strikeout rate, low walk rate, and you think, well, he's a finesse guy. He's going to sink the ball and pitch to contact, and he does pitch to contact. He's very aggressive in the strike zone, but he has the stuff to be more of a strikeout pitcher. It's just not the way he goes about his business.
A chopper to David Freese. Short throw across the diamond, and Nova clapping his hands. 1-0 Cubs in the 6th. Episode of the Cubs Talk podcast, one-on-one with David Bodie after his epic grand slam, talking Cubs with former Cubs pitcher Dan Plesac and much more. Visit NBCSportsChicago.com/podcast to subscribe today. Yeah, good to see Dan earlier this week. He was filling in on the Brewers telecast for Bill Schroeder. Third time through for John. He has allowed 4 hits, all singles, and no runs through 5. Cubs are 17-7 in his starts. He has not been credited with a win, however, since July 15th. That was the final day of the first half. There's 1-0 to Dickerson, is lifted foul out of play.
Well, there were a lot of stories. John's outstanding first half, made his 5th All-Star team. That he was, when you look at the hard contact rates, the lack of strikeouts, that he was due for some regression, and that certainly has happened. Hopefully the regression is done, and now we'll have progression going forward here.
High for a ball on a fastball. Yeah, tonight has just looked a lot better. Getting more swings and misses. He's got 8 strikeouts, no walks. In and out of the glove of Contreras. That'll hold up for Happ. And 1 down here in the Pirates' 6th inning. Nationals lead the Cardinals in the 5th inning 4-1 tonight. Big night so far for Bryce Harper, 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs.
He's been something in the second half. The Nationals are playing really well coming into Wrigley. They got ambushed by David Bodie, and things have not gone well for them in St. Louis. Well, they're 9 games back now. It's a slim chance of making the postseason. Guess you'd have to say that the Nationals are the most disappointing team in baseball this year.
I would say yes. Foul tip, 1-2. The Rays beat the Yankees today 3-1. That is their first road series win against the Yankees since 2014. They had lost 12 consecutive series at Yankee Stadium. So another one of the Pirates' recent acquisitions, Keone Kela, up in their bullpen. Two-two serve from Lester off the end of the bat. Here comes Almora, and he just can't get there. So Lester missed the barrel, but that ended up working in Marte's favor.
And the line drive from Dickerson goes for an out. The flare from Marte turns into a base hit. They're fun games to pitch in. A one-run ball game, so any little mistake can be a huge difference maker. It really requires all your attention and intensity.
Gotta believe Marte will be going at some point here. He's got 28 steals.
Power numbers are up for Polanco this year. Hitting the ball in the air with more authority.
And he pops it up.
It's in the air, but not with a whole lot of authority.
And Rizzo makes the catch in fair territory. You can see Rizzo, I think, doing the math in his head. Is Polanco going to keep running? He's thinking, could I turn 2 here? Nope, catch it.
Or even trade Marte for Polanco. Some of that speed off the bases.
Not out of the woods yet. David Freese has been swinging a hot bat. He's 0 for 2 in this one, and he went after a high fastball and fouled it off.
Sitting on a heater, he got one, but up where it was difficult to do anything with. There's very good power the other way. Umbrella's starting to pop up.
Light rain falling. There goes Marte, and it's a modified pitch out, and they got him. Contreras and Lester teaming up. Marte is out, and the Pirates done in the 6th inning. We'll pause here for a second to see if they will challenge. It'll look like they got him. Yep, he's out. No challenge from the Pirates. We go to the 7th inning. Still 1-0 Cubs. describing his strategy here. And John Dew up second in the 7th. That will be it for him after 6. And he was brilliant. And this was a pitch out. Our Liberty Mutual field coverage. You don't see the old-fashioned pitch out much these days.
We've probably seen 2 or 3 all year. What a lot of teams like to do is either throw a high fastball over the plate well up, a pitch up, or here, as you mentioned, a modified pitch out. And there's the brush of the leg. That's a good look at it there. That's why the Pirates did not challenge.
Foul strike on Contreras. Kyle Schwarber now on deck for Lester. Nova still in there, and he just about hit Contreras, and that was purposeful as Diaz was set up off the inside corner.
Yeah, he's been very good pitching effectively inside tonight. He's got good contact in on the hands.
Looks like it'll be Cishek in the bottom of this inning. Contreras hustling. Freeze gets rid of it quickly. Bell can't hang on. Infield hit. Contreras.
You might be tempted to let Lester bat here and just put a sacrifice bunt down, because he's really good at it, but they're not going to do that. They're going to let Schwarber swing the bat. John threw 92 pitches tonight. He was only going to give them 1 more at best. So you always would opt to try to score more runs in a game like this. You know, if the pitch count was so low where you might get 2 more innings out of him, you probably let him go. The other part of it is you want to get him up the tunnel tonight feeling really good about things after this recent rough patch. 6 shutout here tonight, as good as we've seen John all year.
Yeah, without thinking too hard about it, might have been his best. He had that good game against the Dodgers at Wrigley, but there was hard contact that night. On the ground, Bell will backhand. They get 1, relay to first, not in time. Fielder's choice for Schwarber, and the batter is Addison Russell. Long pause by Nova at the belt, and the pitch. Outside corner, strike. Whatever light rain we had has stopped. Foul tip, 1-2. Phillies, who gave up 24 in a loss earlier today, have a 6-2 lead in the nightcap against the Mets tonight in Philadelphia. That game is in the bottom of the 4th.
Good feed by Diaz, the catcher. He's a good looking player. 27 years old and getting his first real chance at this semi-regular playing time at the big league level. Got pop in the bat, strong arm, very athletic.
Yeah, an injury plagued couple of years for Francisco Cervelli. And he's taken way too many foul balls off the mask here lately, so sharing time. Cervelli got off to a great start with the bat. Cervelli starting about 2 out of every 3 these days. Runner goes and a tapper foul. And raining again, just as I had said, it stopped. Schwarber goes. They'll stay out of the double play. Freeze leaves his feet, and a tag applied by Bell as he did come off first base. But he touched Russell before Addison got to the bag. 2 outs, and it's starting to rain a little harder now.
I feel comfortable starting the base runner here because Nova just doesn't generate that many swings and misses, so the only play for Freeze is first. Bell is kind of mechanical over at first base. He sets his feet too early, so he's not really able to adjust his feet when the throw's offline a little bit. He made that play harder than it needed to be.
Clint Hurdle will make a change. 2 outs, top of the 7th. Cubs lead 1-0. Richard Rodriguez when we come back.
Field fans who purchase tickets through Cubs.com/Grateful Dead will receive an exclusive Cubs and Grateful Dead cap. A portion of the proceeds from every sale benefit the Rex Foundation. Be sure to arrive early to enjoy an acoustic pregame show at Gallagher Way, presented by Mr. Blotto. Again, visit Cubs.com/Grateful Dead.
Here's a BioFreeze call to the pen, official external pain relief of the Chicago Cubs. Runner at second base is Kyle Schwarber. 2 outs, and Javier Baez at the plate.
A lot of sliders from Rodriguez. Not overpowering. He's got a decent fastball, but he's not one of those 97 guys. Worked 2 innings the day before yesterday through 36 pitches.
His 45th appearance. And 1 to Baez. Rain started, rain stopped, rain started, rain stopped.
Got a little greedy, and after that high cheese, looking out there at second base, he's a potential RBI. Would be number 90 for him. Hard to be patient in that situation when you're having the kind of year he's having.
One and 2 on Javi. Here it comes, and he gets a piece of that one. So you see how big his strike zone is. Nose to toes.
Nose to toes. Yep.
Yeah. I mentioned the piece written recently. I believe it was Mike Petriello. But Javi is swinging more than ever before in his career, and he's having the best year of his career, but he missed a bad one that time. 7th inning stretch time, and the Cubs will go into their bullpen when we come back, leading 1-0. Presented by Benny's Beverage Depot. Tonight it goes to John Lester. Benny's is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah, one swing of the bat for me and Hap, and then a whole lot of good stuff from Big John, dominating this Pirate lineup here tonight. And he gets the word from Joe Madden, slap on the chest, say, way to go, big boy, welcome back. Let's turn it over to that bullpen, and they put it in the capable hands of Steve Cishek. 58th time he has pitched this year. He's the 7th in the league in appearances, 3-1 with a 1.82 ERA. Worked an inning and a third in the ball game yesterday. Got 4 outs, but only needed 9 pitches, to do it.
Steve leads the club with those now 58 appearances. Justin Wilson, the only other reliever with at least 50. And if Pedro Strop gets into the game tonight, and a decent chance he will, it would be his 50th. Cishek to freeze, a little bit inside. Low. 2-0. Cishek got Jonathan Scope to line out to end the 7th inning yesterday as the Brewers were coming back in that game. There's a strike.
cheese at the knees to freeze.
Just about hit him on a two-seamer, and it's 3-1. Diaz and then Bell in the Pirates' 7th inning. Ground ball right at Baez. Well, sad news. Motown icon Aretha Franklin has passed away. This is the anniversary of Babe Ruth's passing as well. And Elvis too, huh?
Is that right?
Yeah.
Boy, a lot of royalty passing on this day. And this is also, and it's fitting given what transpired with Urania and Acuna yesterday. This is the anniversary of the beating of Ray Chapman by Carl Mays back in 1920.
It ultimately was fatal.
Yeah, he died the next day. Chapman did. Mays was a side armor. Of course, that was before helmets. 1920, I believe it was.
It was before they really took the ball out of play.
Right, it was dark. Balls are dark. Chapman never moved. The ball hit him in the side of the head.
The Babe died August 16th, 1948, 70 years ago today. Buried in Hawthorne, New York.
You know that game, the conversation starter people play. If you could play a round of golf with 4 people or have a dinner party with a handful of people, who would you choose? I think I would have the Babe on my
That would be a good
invite
pick.
list. Yeah.
Yep. Line drive right at Jason Hayward. Couple of hard hit outs here in the 7th. Two out, 7th inning. Josh Bell takes outside for a ball. Baez backhands, and he can't get a handle on the ball. Might have been a little wet with the recent rain. Bell's got a 2-out hit.
Look, he got it. No, never did get it cleanly at all coming out of the glove.
And you're mentioning Elvis. I was, let's see, 6 back in 1977, 41 years ago today, but I vividly remember that day. I think a lot of people remember that day. Let's see, Baez will make the grab behind second as that little soft liner held up long enough. And we're going to go to the 8th inning. It's the Cubs 1 and the Pirates nothing. For $49.99, watch every out-of-market regular season game, plus get a free subscription to MLB at Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv to take advantage of this special offer. Happy 52nd birthday wishes to our buddy Eddie Olczyk. You know he would love a Cubs win.
Yeah, let's get him a W for his birthday. Partner stopped by the booth yesterday.
Hayward takes ball 1. He's 2 out of 3. And 3 hits yesterday. Average at .284. He has batted once tonight with a man on base, and he's 1 for 1 in that spot. Nobody better this year with runners on base. He's up over .360. But that is not the case this time, leading off the 8th inning. Rodriguez from the windup. His 2-2 is pop foul. It's Cole Hamels there on the right. He'll get the starting assignment tomorrow night. This is where he made his Cubs debut a couple of weeks ago. Hayward fans
see why Rodriguez likes his slider so much. That outstanding action. He's thrown, this is a weird number for a relief pitcher, 9 wild pitches, second most in the National League.
Second most among all pitchers?
All pitchers, yeah.
Yeah, that is.
Godley is first, and then Rodriguez, then Kershaw, Arrieta, and Guerra. Limited innings. But as I'm looking at this list, they got the top 10, and he's number 2. Stephen Brault, also of the Pirates. Number 7, Kyle Crick, also of the Pirates. Number 9, I think that says something about their catchers not being able to keep that ball in front of them. Right? When you got that many wild pitches on one staff, and from primarily bullpen guys.
Yeah, going into action tonight, the A's and the Pirates leading the majors with 71 wild pitches. The Mets have 14. That's it. By far the fewest. Oh, Bodie got hit. So another pitch up and in, this time on a slider.
As good as the one was to Hayward, that one was equally as bad. He didn't finish it, trying to go down and away, and he just backs up on him. Little insurance. Not a bad idea.
I've got an idea for Vine Line, the Cubs great publication. We get a monthly copy of it. I mean, they know what they're doing, but you know how ESPN has the body issue.
Yeah.
Jake Arrieta and Javier Baez, I believe, have been in that. They should do Vine Line should do a Bodie issue.
There's nothing but David Bodie stuff.
Yeah. So Gary Cohn, if you're listening, free of charge, you can use my idea.
I'll just put him on the cover and call it the Bodie issue.
Yeah. Well, I don't have any doubt that he's going to make the cover of that. One nothing. The run came on an Ian Happ homer back in the fourth. Lester and Nova both were excellent tonight. Swing and a miss. Rizzo's out. 2 Cubs retired, and it will bring up the aforementioned Happ.
Diaz wanted that ball in on Anthony. Rodriguez not able to get it there, but it was up and he got the chase. "13 hits total in the ball game. Cubs have 7. Pirates have 6. I think is Happ's home run the only extra base hit?
Yes. Bodie at first, 2 outs, and Rodriguez will pick toss. Hefty home run time. Ian with his first home run in about a month, and it could be a game winner. We won't know the answer to that for a couple of innings.
Oh, another good pass at it. Just missed. That fastball from Rodriguez. Left-handed Ian having a better year than right-handed Ian. He's got power from both sides, but the swing is better from the left side, more consistent as a left-handed batter. Hit a home run on the very first pitch of the baseball season off Jose Urena.
You called it.
And he went on to beat drilled Anthony in that inning, didn't he?
Yep. Back on March 29th. The first 3 batters of the Cubs season all scored. Happ homered. Bryant walked. Rizzo hit by a pitch. Later in that inning, Hayward walked with the bases loaded. Baez was hit by a pitch, forcing in a run. The Cubs won that day 8-4.
See, if you were a defense attorney trying to defend Urena for yesterday's actions, you would point to that game and others to see the guy's just wild. He just hits people. He led the league in hit batters last year with 14. I think he may lead the league now. He's near the top of the leaderboard. I think you would lose your case if you tried to defend him, but if you're trying to mount a defense, that's where you would go.
I referenced on Twitter Occam's razor. Are you familiar with that theory? Yeah, generally the simplest answer is the best one, and based on that, I would say he probably did it on purpose. But I'm willing to hear the defense arguments.
I don't have I'm presenting the case that if I were charged, if I were his attorney, that's what I would say. I'm not going to defend him.
Called strike 3 on a pitch that looked outside. So all the outs in the 8th were strikeouts. Some may say struck out the side. We'll let you debate that. Cubs lead 1-0 late.
Cowboys coming home to play Wrigley Field Saturday, September 8th, with special guests Rise Against and Machine Gun Kelly. This will be the final concert of the season at Wrigley Field, so don't miss out. Tickets on sale now. Cubs.com/concerts.
You see a bunch of guys who did not start this game. Carl Edwards Jr. will pitch for the Cubs here in the 8th inning. Adam Frazier, left-hand bat, will hit for Echeverria. And another pinch hitter, Colin Moran, is on deck. And a called strike.
Frazier, Moran, the two lefties on the bench for the Pirates tonight. Frazier, good role player, good off the bench, makes a lot of contact. Sprays the ball around the field.
He went around on a curve that bounced.
Third of an inning for Edwards yesterday, a couple hits and a walk.
Frazier swinging a hot bat. He is 0 for 7, but you stretch it out, he's hitting .385 over his last 16 games. .510. He does not have a very big strike zone. Edwards with a 1-2 in on the hands and fought off foul. Adam is a Mississippi State product. That has been quite a baseball factory over the years. Two balls, two strikes. Edwards, a good story. He was a 48th round pick. The Rangers in 2011. Past the mound, Baez will scoop. So here's the former Astro, Moran.
Always stressful for a relief pitcher when you come into a game in a one-run situation, and even more so when the starter was so good. You know, coming into a 1-0 ball game, I pitched his tail off. You don't want to let that one get away. Cishek did his piece. Now Edwards looking to cover the 8th.
Yeah, we talked to Ryan Dempster about that yesterday. He said when he was a closer, it really hit home how much pressure you felt trying to save a game for a pitcher who started and pitched well.
Boy, he's been awfully good in the pinch. He has power.
One to Moran, hit on the ground. Russell will throw him out.
A couple of routine plays there. I saw a note today somewhere in the Twitterverse. Cubs lead baseball in the percentage of non-routine plays they make. I don't know how they define non-routine.
That doesn't surprise me.
No, watching this team play every day.
They're rangy. Now Dickerson with 2 outs. Foul back. I believe it's Justin Wilson, a left-hander, who's not throwing but just on the bullpen mound if needed. And we would guess Pedro Strop would be the guy in the ninth. Popped him up and no play. Dickerson's really put together. 6'1", 200 pounds. His career slugging percentage going into tonight, 500. 324 plus homer seasons. There's Wilson just enjoying the action. Career best 27 homers last year for Dickerson with the Rays, and he was an all-star.
Never been one to walk much, but he's done a real nice job cutting down the strikeouts.
On a bounce, it's Baez. Rizzo racing to first. He'll take the underhand toss, and they get Dickerson to end the 8th inning. Let's go to the 9th. Cubs 1, Pirates nothing. On NBC Sports Chicago, and Cole Hamels will oppose Trevor Williams, and the Pirates will hit the air at 6. You can stream the game live on the NBC Sports app as well, and this was Cole's Cubs debut rather on August 1st in this very ballpark.
Yeah, most impressive stuff. Good heater, outstanding changeup that night. There's one right there. He struck out 9. Nice way to say hello to the new mates. Here's a major league debut.
Kevin Newman playing short. And the Pirates have their closer now working, Felipe Vasquez. He is a fireballer, and he's trying to save a 1-0 score here in the 9th.
Yeah, he hasn't been out there in a few days. 26 saves, good for 4th most in the National League. There's a really good changeup to go along with that good gas.
More fouls away. 100 on that fastball. 0-2.
How many games do you think we've done this year where there has not been a single walk issue?
I'm going to guess for either team.
Either team.
One.
I have no idea, but there hasn't been any tonight.
Well, I can tell you the answer to that pretty quickly.
What kind of magical powers do you possess?
I'll get it. Fly ball to right. Backpedaling is Polanco for the out. Well, the Cubs offense has not walked 3 times. May 4th, July 23rd, July 27th. Okay.
Oh, I see where you're going. Now you're going to go find those games.
I'm going to find the games where the pitching staff didn't walk anybody.
And you're going to cross-reference those dates. Oh, you're like Nicolas Cage.
The answer is there has not been one game we have called all season in which neither team has walked. I hate you right now. 3:30 in the morning. I'm going to be like 1973. The Cubs took
the Holtzman game.
One and one on Contreras. The kick, the pitch. 2-1.
Stropey out there hoping the Cubs would push another run or two across to make his life a little easier.
Oof. 3-1. How do you think the Nationals are feeling right now? The Cardinals have put up 3 and are still batting in the 6th inning. It's 5-4 Washington. Nationals at one point led 5-1.
Yeah, they got some bad mojo going on right now. They have not been able to hold leads. And the Cardinals, they're probably feeling invincible these days.
Yes, they are.
Looking to win their 9th consecutive ball game. Go ahead, take a big swing here. No, didn't throw it in there. Hey, look at that. First walk of the night.
And we still haven't seen a game without a walk here in 2018. Ben Zobrist will hit for Edwards.
Number 18, Ben Zobrist.
Look at those rate stats. Zobrist is putting up one of the best of his career. In terms of batting average, on base, slugging, at the age of 37.
The last time we saw Ben, he was being ejected for the first time in his career by Phil Cuzzy. It was after he was lifted out of the game, but he wanted to have a conversation about a pitch he was convinced was a ball and was called a strike.
I still think he'd be a candidate for the Lady Byng Trophy, even with that ejection.
I was just going to say, he's only had 2 penalty minutes all year.
Oh, that's some good gas. Zobrist one of the best on the Cubs at handling velocity, better from the left side than the right side in that regard. On base plus slugging for Ben this year, 856, the best he's had since way back in 2009 when he posted a career best 948.
Love to see him hit 300 for the first time in his career. Runner at first, one out. Out into deep left center. Dickerson for the second out. That'll bring up Russell. The Pirates in the bottom of the ninth will have Marte, Polanco, and Freese. Outside, ball one to Addy. He's flied to right twice and retired on a nice play by Freese.
That's crisp, boy, moving in on the hands. Tough to do anything with that pitch. If you're Wilson Contreras down there at first base, you might not be thinking about trying to steal a bag here, but anything in the dirt, you're gone. It's obviously a time where you want to be a little risky. 2 outs. A guy with elite stuff on the mound.
This is game 12 of the season series. The Cubs are 6-5 against the Pirates. They have engineered 2 shutouts. 7-0 here on May 28th, 2-0 at Wrigley on June 9th.
Pirates have been good within the division, 28-19, the best record in the Central.
Cubs hang on. They'll knock the Pirates to the 500 mark and 10 games out.
I think he'd go change up here at some point.
On the ground, he was out in front on off speed, and Freese takes care of Russell. We go to the bottom of the ninth. It's 1-0 Cubs. He cramped up a little bit, right calf possibly. So he'll get his gear on as Pedro's stroke gets loose.
Pedro pitched the ninth inning yesterday. It was not a safe situation. It was an 8-4 Cubs win, and a scoreless inning with a strikeout for Strop. His previous 6 appearances were all save opportunities and successfully converted. 263 the earned run average for Pedro as he works for now the 50th time. 48 innings, 48 punch-outs.
He's nearing his 500th appearance. This is 495, all in relief. And if he can notch the save tonight, it will be his first career double-digit save campaign as he fills in for Brandon Morrow. Now, Contreras really had to bust it down the line back in the 7th inning. And he goes all out, so you wonder if maybe a little trip there. That right leg may have been bothering him for a couple of innings. That was back in the 7th. But he's going to stay in. Marte will lead it off.
Especially in a one-run ball game with his ability to neutralize the running game. And a guy like Marte leading off the inning, that could be a real difference maker. Strop was traded to the Cubs in 2013. He had a 7.25 ERA with Baltimore, 29 appearances that year. Every single season he's been in a Cub uniform, he's posted a sub-3 earned run average.
Here we go. Marte takes up and in.
Fastball, slider, and cutters from Strop. The cutter he introduced last year, and he's leaned heavily on that pitch this season.
Pedro Strop, 6'1", 220, 33 years old. Swing and a miss.
Right-handed batters hitting 170 off Pedro. A couple of home runs, 3 doubles, a .255 slugging percentage for right-handed batters.
Slider backed up. It's 2-2. Polanco on deck. 1-0 Cubs, 9th inning. A hit by pitch always in play here as Marte gets hit quite a bit.
Strike to ball slider might get the job done. They're going to throw him a sinker.
Got him.
Strike to ball cutter.
Yeah, he went way out of the zone. 1 down.
It's known in the competition. Marte doesn't walk much. Felt comfortable they could get him to chase.
Polanco has struck out looking, swinging, and he has popped to first. A little low. A win tonight, and the Cubs will have a 3.5 game lead over Milwaukee.
One school of thought here is just work down and away from Polanco, force him to hit the ball the other way. It's very difficult for a left-handed hitter to drive the ball out of the ballpark to left field here.
Cubs have out-hit the Pirates 7-6. They've out-homered them 1-0. That's the key. Happ in the fourth. Strop trying to save it for Lester.
Blanco's been in a pretty good funk here for a while, and it's been a soft night for him. A couple of punch outs and a pop up to first base, and obviously you put him in a 3-1 count, make him that much more dangerous. Good pitch.
This would be Lester's first win in a month. His first win of the second half. He has given the Cubs a chance to win a lot. Cubs would improve to 18-7 in his starts if they can hang on. 3-2 on Polanco. The pitch, swing and a miss. So he has struck out the first two on 3-2 pitches off the plate.
Everybody wants to be a hero. The pitcher can take advantage of that. A couple of chase breaking balls. First Marte, then Polanco. Taking the bait.
That will bring up David Freese. Swing and a miss. Two outs, nobody on. Ninth inning. 1-1.
Freese hasn't hit it out of the infield tonight. Strike out a couple ground balls.
Tracked way inside. 2-1.
No doubles in the outfield. Everybody deep.
A strike away. It's 2-2. No pitch. Contreras asked for time and got it from Scott Berry. So Pedro quick pitched his catcher that time. Will Freese get another pitch in the strike zone in this sequence? He did. And Freese fought it off. Two, he hit him. Freese reaches. That will bring up Elias Diaz.
And back that slider one more time. This time he just flew open a little bit. Wasn't able to execute the pitch.
We'll also bring Jim Hickey to the mound. Oh, so close.
Yeah, just a chance to reset here. Don't freak out. We're good. We got 2 outs. Look at Riz.
Oh, is that beautiful? Oh, that is as good as it gets. I can't believe he didn't laugh. Runner at first, 2 outs. Diaz takes low and outside. Oh, man. Swing and a miss. I have a feeling we're going to see that on social media. One ball, one strike. Now 2-1. Pedro went 3-2 on Marte, and then on Polanco. He got both to chase, pitches out of the zone for strike 3. He hit Freeze, and now he's 2-1 on Diaz. 1-0 ninth inning, a nail biter in Pittsburgh, and a little squibber. Rizzo unassisted. Cubs win. Cubs win 1-0 the final, and the lead in the division now 3.5.
Well, pitcher's night for sure. Just 1 run on the board for both clubs. Total of 13 hits, only 1 for extra bases, and that was the big one, the solo home run from Ian Happ. John Lester back on track. An outstanding performance here tonight, and he got help from Cishek, Edwards, and Stroke to finish it off.
Cubs out XBH'd them by 1. The only extra base hit tonight, and the Cubs use it to beat the Pirates 1-0. So for JD and our entire NBC Sports Chicago crew here in Pittsburgh, Len Casper with your final score. Cubs 1, Pirates 0, and we're right back at it tomorrow night. Cole Hamels will work for the Cubs at 6 o'clock Central Time here on NBC Sports Chicago. Coming up next, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Post game live. Stay tuned.